go. What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR365. What is going on? It is Saturday. It is September 14th, and right now it is 12 noon. It is high noon. So, Simplex, is it 9 p.m. right now in Poland?
It's exactly 9 p.m. on the dot.
Okay, yeah. So we just turned 9 p.m. So on one side of the world, it is dark. On another side of the world, it is light. I will represent all that is good in this world. And Simplex is nothing but evil over there.
I disagree. Respectfully disagree.
Okay, so we have started the show. What is up? So I'm guessing F Reality is probably still running right now, which is okay. I'm sure they're talking a lot about Vive Cosmos and other topics like that. And the thing is, I got a guest, and he is live and direct. And so I can't let him wait for too long. Got to bring him into the mix. So Simplex, how is it going, man? It's glad to have you back on the show again.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Anthony, for inviting me again. I'm really happy to be a guest again. It's fine. I mean, if anyone watched me on Twitch or watched the YouTube replay, may notice that I'm not in my flat. I'm actually in the middle of huge redecoration of my flat. So I'm in a rented flat.
Okay, so they're creating a gigantic VR room specially for you.
This is one of the objectives. Yes, one of the objectives.
Really?
I mean, yeah, really. I mean, it's a 2-room. It's like 2-room flat, 2 rooms and a kitchen. It's 55 square meters. Whole area. So I can translate that into feet, but it's 55 square meters.
What's the ceiling? The ceiling, because are you able to jump up and swing your arm?
No, but I made sure there are no huge overhanging chandeliers. Okay. I have these LED tubes in the ceiling, which are way high, and the ceiling is over. I think it's over 2 meters. So it's good. I don't have a chance. I won't hit anything. I remember there's a funny story actually when I got a Wii. I borrowed a Wii, and when I played bowling, I actually hit my lamp. I made such a huge swing that I hit a lamp with my hand, and then it broke. So
yeah, I always remember gaming science teacher is in the building. She's coming out of retirement. Well, she's actually back in school, so she's got a lot of homework to grade and stuff, but she is checking in with us. How's it going? We also have Frank Zappa. Paolo Triani is in the building. By the way, folks, Paolo Triani, he did help out the show yesterday. We gave away a key for Killing Floor Incursion. And the trivia for that was the answer. Yeah, Vindicta, but it was probably pretty hard. Some people were probably getting locked out of their accounts if they were trying to get that. Slayblaze and Show Game are here, and JD46 is also checking in.
Anthony should totally have got gaming science teacher again, right?
Yeah, we should have her back on. It's just she's probably very busy now that school is back in session. Okay, so what I want to do really quick, I want to do another apology real quick because God damn it, I really made a major mistake, huge, giant, major mistake. No, this was for Soulscape. I was running the wrong trailer. And so I talked about this yesterday, but I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it one more time. Okay, so this trailer right here that I just put on the screen, this is a Soulkeeper VR trailer. And I don't know how I got my wires crossed, but I was like, oh yeah, this is another Soulscape trailer. And look, it almost looks like Skyrim. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Look there's a canoe that you can ride down a river. It's beautiful. There's a cabin. And so I was saying all of these things, and I was saying that it was part of Soulscape, but it's a completely different trailer. This is Soulkeeper VR. Have you ever played Soulkeeper VR, by the way?
Nope.
No? Okay, no. So Soulkeeper VR is available right now. Now, the question I have is what I'm looking at right here. Has this all been converted into the game? Like if I were to play Soulkeeper VR right now, does it actually look like this? Because all of this looks...
nice sausage.
Yeah, it looks great. Like, this looks really good. This looks like a pretty good poor man's Skyrim with special effects and some other stuff going on here. But I got it mistaken. I thought this was Soulscape, and so I was going on and on and on about how good Soulscape looked and the slow motion effects and all this stuff. And this was a completely different game. Yeah, this is the Anthony Apology Hour. It's just, I feel like somebody might have watched that episode or somebody might have watched that clip and they're like, oh yeah, I'm ready to buy Soulscape. And they don't see any of these apologies. You know, they don't see these apology videos. And then so later they buy Soulscape and they're like, what the hell's going on, man? There ain't no Skyrim. There ain't no cabin.
You're lucky there's a, you can refund it. Or otherwise there'll be a class action against you.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just a really bad mistake on my part. So I did want to recognize that I made a major mistake. Okay, another thing I wanted to mention really quick here is there's a new VR game. Yeah, so Soulkeeper VR, when is that major update coming? Because I would kind of like to check this out. I mean, you'd probably, because when Soulkeeper VR, when we first heard about it, it was like this stunning graphical showpiece. The game came out. We tried to play it, like Reckoner VR, like VR Roundtable, like all of us in VR Roundtable, Steve, Chris, we all tried to play this game. And I think at the time I had my 970 and I couldn't use it at all. Like, it didn't work at all. I mean, the game barely ran. It looked incredibly beautiful. I remember looking out a window, and looking out of the window, it was like the way the window was dirty, but you could really see outside the window. It was very impressive, but the game just wasn't ready for prime time, really. But it's one of these games. It's still out there. I believe somebody could buy this game right now and play this game right now. But let me go ahead and switch over to the webinar real quick, because I got to make sure I get you set up on there. Okay, so here you are. Now I got to pop this open here. And now we got to get you into the mix, but a little bit smaller here. So we'll squeeze you down a bit and throw you over here in the corner. Okay, so since we are on the webinar real quick, might as well mention Knockout League is your daily deal today. It is $15. You got like 11 hours in this. Simplex, have you ever tried Knockout League?
Never played it.
Never played it? Yeah, I've never played it either. I've never played it either.
I heard it's similar to Punch-Out, which I also never played. So.
Yeah, like Nintendo Punch-Out, like way back in the days, you've never played like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or any of that? Nope. Okay. Yeah, that was a classic, but it's very old school because basically it pretty much required you to just memorize what the other fighter was doing. So the other fighter would he'd go 1, 2, 3, and then he'd do an uppercut. So you just have to memorize that it's 1, 2, 3, and then you got to move out of the way is basically the way it worked. And I'm guessing Knockout League is probably pretty similar to that. So that is the daily deal. But, okay, so we got Simplex dialed in on our webinar in case we need to use that, so that's good. But let's go back over here. And one thing I did want to talk about, folks, is there is a brand new VR game that we're finding out about, and it is called Na: The Lost Eye. And the developer is... let's see, what is the developer? Actually, let's go back to the webinar real quick, and I'll just go to the page for it. Let's go to the page for it. So this is Na: The Lost Eye, and we've got a new Steam page for this game. It is Studio Gambit, and spring 2020 is the release date. And so I think I saw this on Road to VR. Grabbed the trailer for it. Looks kind of cool. So let's check out the trailer real quick, and then I'll go ahead and get Simplex's thoughts on this game. So let me go ahead and grab the trailer for it. Grabbing it as we speak here. And so, yeah. So this is Na: The Lost Eye. So let's go ahead and check it out. Pretty short teaser trailer, but it should give us a little idea of the game here. Okay, so that is Gnaw the Last Eye, which is going to be coming to Oculus Rift, Steam VR, Windows Mixed Reality. Developer is Studio Gambit. Looks pretty cool. I mean, looking at this, you've got some colorful little characters and stuff. Looks like you're kind of dealing with some puzzles, but also action as well. Graphics look pretty decent, a bit on the cartoony side. I wonder if this is a possible questicle.
Exactly. It looks similar to Journey of the Gods, maybe a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. It does a little bit. Yeah, I do wonder, like every new game that I see now that's a PC VR game, whenever I'm watching the trailer, in the back of my mind is like, okay, is this going to come to Quest, or is it slightly watered down? Because like looking at that, like we don't see like tremendously amazing textures everywhere. So this might be coming to the Quest, possibly. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Let's see, what does it say on the Steam page for it? Going back over here to the Steam page, it says, explore into the magical, fantastic worlds. You will find yourself in the ruins of old cities. For example, temples, sky cities, canyons, and dark underground cities where the world is upside down, controlled by new rulers now. This game created exclusively for VR. And so about this game, you can see game description, cool features. You choose your own weapon. What is your fighting style? Choose your fighting technique and weapon while exploring your surroundings. Variety of advanced weaponry, special abilities, and combat techniques available in this adventure. So this is coming spring 2020. So it's a ways away. You know, we're not going to get this game anytime in the immediate future here, but I always like to keep track of some of these games that are coming. I mean, this looks like a legitimate, pretty solid kind of an indie game, not something just thrown together that's a bunch of crap. Like, this does have some I mean, this looks like a quality affair right here. And it does say Valve Index, Vive, Oculus Rift, Windows Mixed Reality. So it looks like it's going to be working for a lot of different systems. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our interview today with Simplex. We have him back in the building. It's good to have him. So obviously, one of the most exciting things that has been going on in the VR gaming industry over the last couple of days is the arrival of the Vive Cosmos, which of course is going to be coming on October 3rd. We found out the price. We found out a lot of interesting information about this baby. My question for Simplex, you've got pretty much all the major headsets, right? I know you got a Quest. I know you got a Valve Index. I can't remember. Do you have a Rift of any kind? Did you have a Rift S or a CV1? Or I don't remember.
I can tell you exactly what happened. At one point, I had CV1, Index, Vive, PSVR, Pimax, and Quest. And that was a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So I sold my CV1 because I figured I'm getting Index and Knuckles. So CV1 will be obsolete, basically. And I just didn't have the patience anymore for the cameras on the cables, on the USB cables. And I also actually sold my Pimax after I got Index, because I noticed that I almost stopped using Pimax after I got Valve Index. It does have a superior FOV, that's true, but the jank, the friggin' Pi tool, this Pi tool thingy, right?
Yeah.
Like
I should have had Scuba Steve 2365, Steve Bishop. I should have had him on here because he would argue against you, because I'm pretty sure Steve chose the Pimax over the Valve Index. I think he got a Valve Index and he sent it back or refunded it or whatever. And a big part of it was the glare. Like, he was really upset with the glare. I was really upset with the glare at the very beginning. And then I calmed down. So I totally understand.
Yep. Me too.
But what do you think about that comparison there with the Pimax? So you're kind of getting into it. It did have the bigger FOV, but ultimately the Valve Index was your daily driver, right?
The comfort.
Okay.
Comfort is incomparable,
Yeah.
And also lack of headphones.
Okay.
You know,
And the
integrated.
jank of
And
the
the jank.
tool and all the
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah, that's basically it. And also the performance was much worse because of both the jank, the Pi tool, and the fact that it has to churn so much more pixels, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But really, I'm really miffed that they promised, because they promised the backers, they promised them the deluxe audio strap, right? In the Kickstarter campaign.
For Pimax.
Yeah, for Pimax. Like, where is it? There's no, they don't even have an ETA for it. It's like nowhere.
Okay, R Gambo in chat says, I'll argue, no issues with Pi tools at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah, this is the argument. It works for me, right?
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes would you go into certain games on your Pimax where it's like, for some reason I can't get this game to work in the Pimax? Did you ever have?
Yeah. Oh, of course, the parallel projection, right? There's this setting, parallel projection. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah.
So basically, there are some, because of the canted displays. So there are some games which the more recent ones are compatible with Pimax and the canted projection. And then, yeah, exactly. That's what Jerillo says. No canted lenses, so you have to brute force run the extra pixel on Pimax. So for some games, and he put the Vive the look heads up on my Pimax. Great, man, but I don't want to do that. Pimax promised me as a backer free deluxe audio strap. And where is it? When will we get it? I mean, I don't care because I already sold it, but I even
wait a minute.
made bank on it.
So when you sold it, right? Are they still going to send it to you? Do you think you'll eventually get it? Like it'll just show up one day? And
I mean, they don't know I sold it. I mean, unless they watch you.
Yeah.
And I sold my Pimax for 2.5K PLN, which anybody can like convert using Google to some other currency. But
what would that be ballpark in like dollars?
Let's do that. $640.
Oh, okay. So not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, you
Especially
probably took a little.
What?
I was gonna say, did you take a little bit of a loss on it? Like it cost you?
I actually earned money on it because I bought it on Kickstarter.
Oh, so Kickstarter's got it a lot less.
Yeah, I Kickstarted it. Yep. So I'm happy that I sold it. And and it's a funny story because the guy that bought it from me, he doesn't have base stations, he doesn't have controllers. So I don't know what's gonna do. I don't know what he's going to do with it. I mean, I told him that he needs all this.
He's probably gonna buy a used Vive for cheap, probably.
Yeah, that's what I told him to do. Yeah, it's a bit weird story because he told me that he used the WMR and he basically said that he cannot use VR. He needs to use VR in the dark. I don't know why. I didn't ask. Maybe it's his dungeon, Yeah. And that he said that inside out tracking, the one the cameras are a no go for him because he needs to use it in the dark.
There's the IR illuminator thing he could get. You could get a couple of those. You put them in the corner and it sends out these beams that are invisible.
Oh wow!
So you can use it in the dark, but it's another thing. You got to plug it in. It's a hassle. You got to have, and then also if you have like a cat or a dog or something, they're probably disturbed by all these weird things going on that we can't see with our vision. Like there is weird stuff going on we don't see that our cats and dogs probably notice, and sounds as well. But let's.
I mean, you know what? I don't want to think like I'm hating on Pimax. I mean, I don't like the fact that they didn't deliver the promised head strap, right?
Yeah.
And the wireless adapter. Are we ever going to see it? But the Pimax is it has a really great optics. It doesn't have glare. It has amazing sweet spot. And really best in class FOV. But for me, the comfort, it was sort of scratching my nose, I felt uncomfortable. And the lack of headphones. So that's why I sold it.
Okay, so right now, the Valve Index is your daily driver, right? So you probably spend more time in that headset than any other headset. What would be the next headset you go to in terms of time spent in it?
Well,
right now that you have
Quest
right now.
PSVR and Quest sort of.
Okay.
Maybe even more PSVR because this is more exclusives.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't have any Rift at all, and my question in regards to that,
Cosmos.
Yeah, well, no, I'm talking about the Rift. Like you don't have
Yeah,
an Oculus Rift now. You don't have a CV1 or a Rift S, right?
true, true.
Because you have your Valve Index, you feel like that's good. My question though is, what about when like Stormland comes out or some of these other games? Like, what if they just don't
Revive,
revive?
revive.
Yeah, but what about with those dumb controllers? Let's talk about the Knuckles. I mean, are you a fan?
Oh, don't
Are
get me started, man.
yeah.
I am on a second RMA, you know?
Oh wow.
They sent me worse controllers as a whole story. If you go to my channel, I think it's Simplex PL. I have a YouTube channel which I don't use. I just upload random shit there.
Okay.
I have two movies there, two movies recorded, where I show how shitty the knuckle controllers that Valve sent me as RMA are. So the 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 analog stick does not click at all in one direction and doesn't even register the input. Because the whole deal with the click gate is that there is no feedback, there is no click when you tilt it, right? But for some people, when you tilt it and it doesn't click, it still registers the input in game.
I'll have to sign
But for some people, it doesn't even register the input. It's completely broken. And my first controllers that I got with the Index when I pre-ordered it, they didn't click, but they registered input. They
Wait, time
sent
out,
me.
time out.
Okay.
You're playing flat games? What is going on here?
Of course I am,
Bloodborne.
man. Bloodborne, man, amazing game.
Oh man, you're playing flat games.
I told
Okay.
you that already. Remember?
Everybody, I've got to reschedule this episode. Sorry, we're canceling it. No. So Days
Okay, I'm
Gone.
out.
So are you playing that as
Yeah,
well on PlayStation
I
4?
I have a platinum on it. I platinumed it. Yeah, it's a great game too.
You're a
It's like
gamer,
40
huh?
hours.
You're a
Uh,
freaking gamer. Like you put in
I try.
hours, huh?
I try. I don't have kids, so
Oh, okay. That
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 helps.
helps. That helps.
And
Spider-Man, how is that? And when are we going to get the VR version of that?
platinum too. No, yeah, I had a platinum on that too.
God
That's
of
but that's
War,
only
yeah.
very easy platinums. They don't require you to play on a high difficulty, or don't require you to play the game, like finish the game 2 or 3 times. Oh, Paul Triani, Bloodborne is an amazing game. Yep, it is, man.
Yeah. Okay, so this is your channel, Simplex PL,
Yeah.
24 subscribers. I would hit subscribe right now. I'm not signed
No,
in
don't
this
do that.
browser.
It's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
there, really. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just uploading random shit there. Just, you can.
Okay.
Nothing to see there. Move along.
Yeah, yeah. But no,
But you can
one
see.
question I do have though is so the Vive Cosmos, going back to the Vive
Yeah.
Cosmos, is there anything about this that tempts you in any way, other than being
Wireless.
a VR fan? You're a VR fan, you
Wireless.
want to try everything. Go ahead. Oh, the wireless. Okay.
Wireless.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Wireless. But I know. I don't know if you read there was this thread on Reddit some time ago. Very interesting. Someone made a teardown of this wireless index, of this wireless adapter. It's it's like, what's the word? It's jerry rigged. It's like total shit. It's inside, it doesn't have, because it doesn't have the hardware decoding of the video. It has to be made by the processor, by the CPU, right? So it's totally janky. It's like very cheaply made.
Yeah.
It's
So
really
not
bad. It's
good.
like PCI 1.0 or something, or 2.0. It's like speed. It has like PCI 2x speed or something. It's bad. That's why so many people have problems with it, because it requires a lot of CPU power to work, because it decodes video, because they cheaped out. It costs so much, right? It costs 300, I think.
Yeah.
And you need a special adapter for Vive Pro, and you will probably need a special adapter for Cosmos. Of course, you have to pay separately. And still, they cheaped out. They didn't even bother to put in a hardware decoder of the video, which would, unburden the CPU.
Yeah, have you tried the Vive wireless adapter
No,
anywhere? Have you ever tried it
never,
anywhere? No.
never, never.
So you don't know if it's any good though. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, cuz Steve has tried a number of these wireless things. Like he tried the TP Cast for the Oculus Rift, the Rift version of the TP Cast. And it worked, but it also had a lot of jank. Like you had to do
Yeah,
all these certain things. Sometimes you get it set up, it's not working right. And it's like that's where it becomes a stumbling block for me. Like I don't want to hassle with a bunch of crap. You know, I've just gotten lazy, I guess, over time. I know there's
Yeah,
lots of people they love, like they'll like see the flip up thing is a big deal for them because they
true.
flip it up, they go over to the keyboard, they quickly edit an INI file. They're back in, they're modding stuff, so they love doing all kinds of stuff. They love playing with their routers and setting it to a different channel. I just want to play a damn game, man. And so for me, it's like no fuss, no muss is what I'm looking for.
I have the best wireless device, which it's called Oculus Quest.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's why the Oculus Quest, like it's interesting because you are a PC VR guy. Like you like this high-end stuff, but you'll play your Quest too, which is the way I am. And it's like a lot of people just like they don't even consider the Quest as like a viable option. But what else? So the wireless, is there anything else about this headset? What about the fact that it does have possibly built-in hand tracking, like right from Jump Street kind of, where if you don't have your controller, you can start doing some stuff with this maybe?
Yeah, but you won't be able to do much, right? With just your hands.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be a lag. It's like Kinect, right? Kinect also, because I think that every tracking system that relies on, reading the movements of your hands is going to inherently have a lag because it has to figure out what you're doing, right? And it takes time.
Yeah, the lag can be pretty minimal, though. I mean, we've seen with like Leap Motion and stuff, like it's pretty, like, I think they can do that good. I just don't know, like, we know that it's going to have this optical hand tracking capability, but what we don't know is like day one, is it going to work? What is it actually going to do? Because I know you think, yeah, it's not going to do much, but I think about putting someone else into it and they're just trying to do like some kind of interactive VR experience where all you got to do is like aim at a button and say play or something. And for that, I think it could work. And so I do think it's something interesting in the future. The other thing it has is the pass-through, the color pass-through. Okay. You use your Quest a lot. What do you think about pass-through? Do you think it's pretty goddamn convenient, or is it just a gimmick, or what do you think?
I think it's useful. I think it's cool. It's good to have it. It's better to have it than not have it. But the proportions, right, are weird. Everything seems smaller.
Yeah, but they've warped it. Like, so example, if your Quest controllers are sitting on a table, you have your headset already turned on and you don't have your controllers yet, and you're looking in the black and white pass-through. When my hands are reaching down to grab the controllers, like it works pretty good. It's a little bit off. There's a little bit of an off factor, but it for the most part it works pretty good. Do you think the pass-through on this is going to be up to par? Because I'm worried about it from the standpoint of where those cameras are situated. Like I feel like it's not going to be a true it's going to be even more distorted, I think.
I mean, those cameras have to be basically in your eyes, right? to work.
What about what about this faceplate that you're going to be able to get in the first quarter of 2020 that is going to allow you to use lighthouses? Like that's kind of crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you will be able to mix and match. I think that's actually really inventive. I like that because you'll be able to, for example, use Knuckles with it, right?
So they must still have a relatively decent relationship with Valve. Like they must have licensed that. Like there must be some kind of licensing.
O'Brien confirmed it, right? I mean, O'Brien said that they're not departing from Steam VR ecosystem or from Steam VR tracking. I think he said it in one of the interviews recently that they have a very good relationship with Valve, I think.
Okay. So the good news is if you buy a Vive Cosmos, like the upshot is it's going to work with Steam pretty good probably. Like it's probably not going to have any problems with Steam. Yeah. And so Revive, I mean, like working with Oculus, that'll be another question. But
I think I'll wait for a better headset from Oculus. If I ever were to buy another headset from Oculus, I don't want to buy Rift S. I mean, I know it's not bad, but no IPD, poor headphones. So
yeah, so I'm going to be going to Oculus Connect here in a couple of weeks, right? And I'm very blessed, lucky to be able to go see what's going on there. Do you think when I go to Oculus Connect 6, will they talk about anything about a future PC VR headset or like some next generation, or will it just be kind of pie in the sky next generation, or will it be Quest next generation? What do you think?
Well, I would love to, at least for Abrash, for Michael Abrash, to have his talk, like what will VR look like in a few years, and did he whether his predictions, came true, how much of it, really happened. Have you heard? Yeah, I'm sure you heard the rumors that Quest will get PC VR support, right?
I heard that. I find that to be weird to me. That doesn't seem logical to me.
Yeah, but you know what you're missing? They may do it. They can make it Oculus Quest Store exclusive.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. If it's that, and
And
it
then it
might,
makes totally makes sense,
yeah. And
right?
if they're going directly into the Oculus store from a Quest, they can maybe make it in such a way where it works even better. Like somehow it works a little bit better than it would be like if you're just using what do you call it, like ALVR or
Yeah,
virtual desktop.
it's a one ecosystem. It can be seamless. I mean, they can totally make it only work on Oculus Store, just like they can just close it and close it off and make it work. So people who would like to play a Steam VR games can still use ALVR or virtual desktop, and people who want to use the native Oculus solution, if it ever materializes, they can just use the Oculus Store, and I think it makes sense. I think they should do it. I mean, it totally makes sense.
How much do you think this adapter is going to cost? Because if they're taking a
Yeah.
little bit of loss on that lower end Quest that's $399, are they going to overcharge for this adapter to basically cover their loss in case somebody
Maybe it
buys
won't.
it?
Maybe it won't even require an adapter. Who knows? Maybe you'll just. They have the USB-C port, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Maybe you can plug it in.
it shouldn't require an adapter, but
Yeah.
wasn't the rumor that there's some kind of adapter? I haven't even seen the
I'm not
video
sure.
or yeah.
I heard about the rumor, but didn't hear about the adapter. So I can't tell
So
you anything.
what about just a regular PC VR headset, like a legit Rift 2.0? Will Oculus say anything about that? Like, they're probably not going to give up on PC VR quite yet. I think they've definitely changed their focus. I just don't know if they're going to have anything to show us at this show.
Remember
Other
the
than,
dome? It was called the half dome prototype.
yeah, yeah.
I hope they made some progress on that and that they would show. I mean, it's like my. I don't think they'll do it. They would. I don't think they will do it, but I would love them to do it. I would love them to show, hey, this is the half dome. That's what that's how much we improved it since last time. Yeah.
Yeah, if they showed us a new improved half dome with that is got more features, then that tells us that they're at least building something. They're working
Yeah.
on something and they have a long-term vision. Well, remember Jason Rubin, not too long ago, Jason Rubin said we could build an incredible headset for $2,000 that will change your life, but basically they don't want to, they can't sell it for $2,000 is what he said. So this was in a recent interview. So they
Well,
can,
Index is selling for 1,000, so
yeah, that's true. I mean,
no
yeah,
one
yeah.
forces them to put all the features there to make it 2,000. They can make it 1,000. They can make it 700. They can they can mix and they can pick and match and they can just pick the features. They know what people want. People want like higher resolution, higher FOV, better clarity, right? Wireless, good headphones.
So do you feel like ultimately the Vive Cosmos is in this like no man's land? That's where I kind of put it. I kind of
Yeah,
put it in a no man's land, mostly because of the price. Like I think if the price was lower, then it
at
would
least
be,
$100. Right?
yeah.
Oh, and some people here are talking about 72 hertz of index. Well, I just don't feel the difference. I have Quest, I have Index, and I switched it to 120 hertz, and I don't feel the difference. So seriously,
Have you tried Space Pirate Trainer at 144 hertz? Because that is the future right there, man. It feels good to me. Like
okay,
everything is just so much like, oh god. There's only a couple of games that I notice it with, but Space Pirate Trainer at 144, that is
okay.
real. You don't notice it at all, or have you tried it?
I didn't try it,
Okay.
so
Try
I may do
that
it.
and try Compound. You know that cartoony little
Oh yeah,
game?
is there still a demo available?
Yeah,
Because okay,
there's still a demo and it works with the Valve Index pretty good. So those are the two that I've seen at 144 hertz where I was like, yeah, this would be cool. But unfortunately, there's really only 2 games that we know about that. Okay, so yeah, so pretty much the Vive Cosmos, you're really not thinking about it too much. What about the controller factor? Don't you think, like some
Jason
people?
Momoa?
Yeah, the Jason Momoa.
I heard they're heavy. I think Upload VR said it, oh no, it's Ars Technica. They have a quite good VR coverage, and there's this guy Sam Makovich, and he makes quite good coverage of VR. And he said that he is not like a weak person, but he got really winded. He said he's pooped. He just pooped after just a few, some time with the controllers. They're heavy, and they need 2 AA batteries, right?
Yeah, AA. Yeah.
So I think they dropped the ball. Like how long will they be able to work on the battery, and how heavy they are?
Yeah. Well, going back though to like the Valve Index, the Knuckles controllers, what do you think about like just the idea of holding them the way you hold them and grabbing things honestly, I've kind of turned a corner on them where I think this was just a bad idea altogether. I know that's blasphemy, right? Because this is Valve. Valve can do no wrong. Valve is, the chosen one. Let's praise Valve. But honestly,
Lord Gaben.
Yeah, I put those controllers on and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for Super Mario 64 though, because Super Mario 64, like remember when we got the Nintendo 64 controller and you're like holding the controller, you're like, wait a minute, what do I grab? Do I grab this middle part? Do I grab the outside part?
You need 3 hands.
Yeah. And then you played Super Mario 64 and then you understood what they were doing. Is that going to be the case here? We're going to play the Valve game and we're going to understand.
Well, that's a misstep. That's a huge misstep of Valve, because why didn't they put out the game with Index? They should have.
Well, Valve time, that's why.
Yeah, well. and you know what? I actually kind of agree with you on Knuckles. I don't think they're like Christ's second coming. I thought they'll be better. And remember when Sebastian from Amber TV said they're not so ergonomic?
Yeah.
I thought just that he's just crazy. Like, what's he talking about? But he's kind of right.
Now, the one true advantage the Valve Index does have, and I think all of us can agree on this, is that the audio. How much do you think that's worth compared to another headset? Because somebody will say, wait a minute, if you compare the Vive Cosmos and you compare the Valve Index head to head, it's $300. But you got to think that this audio, the Vive Cosmos does have audio included, which that's kind of cool. But this audio's got to be worth $100 right there. So it's really only a $200 difference. Right.
You actually have to hear it to like realize, to understand it.
Yeah.
Right? The Index audio. I love it, and I love it in Audica. Like, I always crank it up like max volume. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing because it's headphones, and it's not even, these aren't like Sennheiser, these aren't like $300 headphones, you know what I mean? And so, but you're still getting such a high quality, from these headphones. So and
it doesn't touch your ears, so it's even better because you have a better feeling that the sound is coming from outside.
Absolutely, and you don't get as hot. Because it gets hot when you got something on top of your ears. So let's go into Audica real quick, because I know you are the man in Audica. In fact, you are in the top 200 in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking to an Audica superstar. So privileged to have him on. So what are your favorite songs when you're playing this?
Gold Dust. I love Gold Dust. Let me check because I don't remember the titles.
Gold Dust is one of my favorites. I'm gonna grab. So I grabbed a screenshot. Well, you grabbed a screenshot and sent it to me, and this is you ranked in the top 200, baby. Here it is, right here. Simplex 195. Yep. This is the total leaderboard. This is all Oculus players and Steam players combined. 36,960,484.
But you know what's crazy? I can't even do a single. I don't think I even did a single song on expert. Maybe 1 or 0. You know. I can't do expert. I'm too weak for expert.
Yeah,
The last difficulty.
So the expert, like if people are doing it on expert, do they get that many more millions of
Yes.
points, and then so they're going to be way higher? So
Yes.
so it's not like you're artificially inflated because you're not doing expert and other people are.
I mean, this is total score for all songs. So I
Yeah.
did all songs. That's why, if someone didn't do even one song, he basically,
Oh. So I could be way higher, man, because I've
yes,
only done
just do
like
all
4
songs.
songs.
Do all songs and
Yeah.
you'll just shoot up. You'll see. If I can believe it, like if I can be in top 200, everyone can be in top 200. Really, it's about all the songs. Like when the new songs came out, I immediately did them. And like I was like 40 or 50 on leaderboards because no one even played them. So yeah.
Yeah, gaming science teacher says she loves pop stars on Beat
Yeah.
Saber. And I love pop stars in this game. You
Yeah.
know what's funny too is like I didn't really know what that song was about. Like I don't listen to the radio and I'm not Mr. Internet like anime Fortnite guy or anything like that. So I don't know anything about it, right? And so I was hearing pop stars in this game. And you know when that one girl is rapping in the beginning, she's like doing this rap, and like a lot of the song is in
Korean.
English. I'm thinking
Yeah.
it's English, and I'm like, I can't understand what she's saying. And
Korean.
yeah, I didn't realize it. And then I saw a music video where it was like for the opening of like whatever the tournament was, and they were live on stage, like they had the real people, and she was doing her rap. And yeah, it was in Korean, and I was like, because she's also rapping in English for a lot of it, and then she's rapping in Korean as well, and I didn't get it. But yeah, that is Pop Stars, which is great on Beat Saber as well too.
I'll post something in chat if you want to see real crazy people that play Orica. They play on 100% difficulty.
Oh my god, yeah.
So just like so really my achievement is not that big because I just played all the songs.
Let me ask you this though about Audica. Like one of the major things I always say when I'm talking about Audica is this is the game where I've experienced the highest high that I've experienced in VR, where I feel like, holy shit, I'm in Tron, I'm in Tron and I'm doing this shit and like freaking lasers are coming at him and I'm like, zzz, and it's like the highest high I've ever felt. Is it the same way for you, or you just like the game, but it's not necessarily the highest high you've ever had?
No, I feel it. I feel it. Sometimes I get in the zone and I don't even think about what I have to do next. It just happens almost automatically. It's amazing.
You know what's interesting? Did you see the interview that John Carmack had with Joe Rogan? Because at one point he was talking about Beat Saber, and he was saying one of the reasons that he thinks Beat Saber is such a watershed moment type of thing is because when you're hitting the blocks, what you're doing physically is exactly what you're doing in the game. So like it really translates well. Now in Audica, you're holding these two guns, and you're putting your guns out there and you're doing what you're doing with your guns and you're like zzz, and it feels like you're freaking what do you call it? It feels like you're Thor or something. You feel like you're a super powered human, especially when you got that audio pumping and the Valve Index sound is so good. And this game, don't you think that this is one of the games that just looks gorgeous on a Valve Index for whatever reason? I think it's the verticality.
It does. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Also, when you grab those targets and you hold them. Did you try like putting the guns next to your head, to your ears, or behind your head? Because then the frequency changes. So try
really?
that.
I haven't tried.
Yeah,
I know that if you let go of your Valve Index controllers, the guns like fly away, and then you grab the handle, they come back.
I mean that if you have these targets you have to hold, right?
Yeah,
To
yeah.
hold them by clicking the trigger, holding it, sustaining it. It's called, I think it's called sustain. Just try like move your guns next to your ears. You'll hear some cool effects.
Oh, wow. I haven't even tried that.
Yeah.
But why do you think, like Jim Hall says, Audica, best $20 spent, and Starlight PL, agree on the buzz and Audica. Starlight's in Poland as well, right?
Starlight PL is my man. I'm
Yeah,
actually
that's your
in his
good boy.
apartment.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're in
And
his
he
apartment.
also bought me Audica for my birthday present. So
Oh, that's awesome. Could you
yeah,
imagine, what if you never discovered this? Like, are you a music guy at all? Like, do you play Beat Saber or any of these others?
I do play Beat Saber,
Okay.
but funny thing is that I never liked rhythm games, in flat. Never. I never played them. And I love the Thumper. I finished Thumper,
Oh, yeah,
first.
yeah.
And then Beat Saber. I bought it like day one. But now I'm mostly playing Audica.
So
I
the
think
good
it's
news is you probably would have discovered Audica even if he didn't
Yeah,
buy
I
it
heard
for
about
you.
it.
Okay.
I heard about it before. Yeah, I actually he bought it for me because it's a bit. I'm almost ashamed to admit it. I was using it from Steam family sharing.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's sharing. You can only, like, if you're sharing that account, then that person can't play that account. So, I mean, it's honestly the way it should be. Like,
Yeah,
somebody bought the goddamn game, somebody could be playing the game at that time, so I wouldn't feel bad about that. But
yeah.
here's a question, and it is the question. What is up with the people that buy Audica and say this game sucks and they refund it? Like, what is wrong with their brain stem?
I think they just spent too little time
Yeah,
on it. I
it, it
think.
it's got to be, right? It just doesn't make any sense. It's not
Yeah,
logical, man.
I totally love it. And I'm so glad they removed form. Remember the form?
Oh yeah,
You had to. It was really stupid mechanic. I think lots of people hated it. That you would get scored on the fact that you would hold like your gun next to your eye, right? And then your hands would tire even. And lots of people are able to shoot from the hip and and hit. So they finally got rid of that mechanic. So that's great.
So
And
another game that you've been enjoying lately is Red Matter, right? You were talking about that. Have
yeah,
you been playing the Quest version, or was it on PC
uh,
VR? Yeah.
I'm when I have a better version, I'll play a better version. So I
But
finished it.
I
Yeah.
wish you could see how good this looks on the Quest. I wish they
I
had a demo.
I did it. You know what? It's actually crazy. The dev gave me a free key.
Oh,
And
sweet.
like yeah, because the dev of Red Matter is crazy. Like I I actually it's a long story because I bought a Red Matter on Oculus Quest store and I wanted to play it on Revive because it was the time when it was an exclusive. So I wrote to the email address, to them. There was some kind of issue with the game
Uh-huh.
that didn't run in
Okay.
Revive, and the guy from Revive said he can do anything about it. So I wrote to the dev, and the dev told me it's some kind of issue with I think Unreal Engine version or something. Basically, the dev from the Red Matter dev wanted to help me run the game on Revive. And he like provided me some kind of I sent him like a debug, some kind of memory dumps or something. I don't remember how that ended up. I think Red Matter has been working on Revive for some time, but then it appeared on Steam, and I wrote to him and I said that I bought it on Oculus Store because I didn't know it will come on Steam, and he gave me a free key for Steam version, so I could play it on Vive, but I
Sweet,
didn't
sweet.
play it, and then when it came out on Quest, I wrote to him, and he offered me a key on Quest for the Quest. So
So did you
it's
did you
madness.
get in there and just take a look at it? You've seen
Yeah,
it on
I did.
Quest? Is
Yeah, I
it
wanted
pretty
to.
incredible or what?
It
God
is.
damn.
It is incredible, but you know what? I mean, we have to remember there are no NPCs there. There's no
Yeah.
physics there, right?
Yeah.
Zero. It's a static, completely static world. That's why it can work so great.
But goddamn, does it work
It
great?
does.
Because the
It
game, I mean,
does.
the way you're playing the game, like, it's fine. It doesn't, like, it's an abandoned space station. You don't need to have
Yeah,
things moving around, and
they play
you know.
to its strength, right?
But oh,
Totally.
that room right there, the room with the little tiles that are all over the walls, like
Oh yeah,
those little tiles, looks so good. But
and the reflections.
you do see the reflections on the ground, ridiculous, man. But
You
you
know what's
do see
crazy?
the foveated rendering though, like the
Yeah,
fixed
you do.
foveated,
You do
yeah,
do that. You do see that. That's the issue.
in a very
But you,
bright room.
you know what's crazy? Actually, I don't know why is that, but they can make better real-time reflections than real-time shadows. Shadows are extremely computationally expensive. I actually had like a huge email chain with a dev when I asked him what are the differences between the PSVR, between the PC VR version and the Quest version, and he like wrote me huge long emails like technical what they had to compromise it to do, and he told me that the shadows like they had to completely get rid almost of all dynamic shadows. It's all baked. Like when you open that first when you enter the Strielka base, right, the door opens and there's no shadow, like nothing changes there. The lighting, the shadow, it's all like static.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the compromise.
Damn it! I wasn't noticing it now. Now I'm gonna notice it. No.
Sorry,
but
forget it.
no, they did such a great job. I mean, it's such an
Yeah,
awesome job, and it's
Red
just
Matter is a great game. I mean, it's not very long. It's not. It's almost like a, well, maybe not visual novel, but there's just puzzles, right?
yeah.
It's
But
a specific kind of game. If you either you hate or love it.
the music though, it's like that
Oh yeah,
one song.
yeah, yeah.
It's over. No, there's actually
True.
two songs. There's two different songs, but they run forever. But it sounds like a movie. It sounds
Yeah,
like you're in a movie,
five
and
movie. Yeah.
yeah, so it's pretty
But the
sweet.
story did get crazy towards the end. I think they overcomplicated it. I looked on Reddit later for like explanation. I think even the developer explained what they meant by the ending. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but it was a bit weird.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, it like I thought it was a little bit goofy after a while,
Yeah.
but overall, pretty solid. So, you know what? To find out what you've been playing recently, why don't I do this? I'm gonna go over to our webinar real quick. And so this hasn't been updated in a while, but this is like the Oculus last 90 days chart. This was updated back on August 25th. And so these are like recent bangers that have been coming out on PC VR. So No Man's Sky. I mean, are you playing much No Man? Did you get into the
No,
No Man's Sky thing, or have you completely avoided it?
I heard about the technical issues with it, and I didn't want to, break my brain or something.
Oh, so you're one of the few people, ladies and gentlemen, we got somebody that has a VR headset that is not touching No Man's Sky. No, that's cool because it seems like everybody and their mom, that's all they're playing is No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky, No Man's Sky. Do you think that like this type of game, it's just too much going on? You don't want to sync all the time because you're still playing flat games, man. You're still
Yeah,
playing Bloodborne.
exactly. Yeah, after 5 years, I just got into Bloodborne. It's a crazy. I was at my friend's who bought a new video card, and I noticed the game lying on the desk, and they're like, "Hey, are you playing this?" No, I'm not. I just took it, and I didn't even know I'm gonna get so into it. So it's crazy,
Okay.
but I actually did play a few hours of No Man's Sky flat.
Oh,
You
okay, you
know,
did back when it
and
first came out.
no, no, I mean, yeah, I did it then, and then I also did it after the VR version came out. I was just too afraid to run it in VR. I just played it flat for a few hours, and it was cool. I mean, I
But
just
why
wanted to
not
like
try it
get a
in creative mode? Because that's what I did at first. I mean, it's
yeah.
still,
Maybe I should.
dude, it's an incredible game. And like,
Yeah,
if you go to the VR 365 Discord, we have a No Man's Sky little text channel, and people are always posting in there, and they're posting about like this planet, that planet. They did this last night. They're doing that. There's some experimental update. Like people are playing this every single day. Reckoner VR, Gary, is playing this every single day. And I could find myself playing it every single day. I've just said no, and I've just like backed away because I want to try to play other things, and I
I'm
know
simply not into this kind of games. I
oh,
know it
okay.
sounds like a blasphemy.
No,
I know
no, that's good.
VR is perfect for this game. I mean, I'm really happy that I'm really happy that it got the VR version. It deserved. It's like if any game deserves a VR version, it's No Man's Sky, right?
Jim Hall says he
It's
hasn't touched No Man's Sky in weeks. But what is it about No Man's Sky that doesn't quite do it for you? Like what if they were to hire you and say, hey man, we need you to alter No Man's Sky so it would really appeal to you? To like what do we have to do to make it appeal? Does it need action? Does it need like gun battles and stuff, like, or what does it need? Like what is the missing element?
I mean, I like story in my games, and also, well, I wouldn't change anything because people who love this game would just crucify me, and they would be right.
Yeah.
There's
I hear you. Okay, so let's move off of that one. What about what about Dirt Rally 2.0? Are you a car guy at all?
Not at all. You don't remember? I said it during the Twitch show that I don't play any car sims in VR, and then someone got really agitated. I don't know, was it Jim Hall maybe or someone? I think he was joking, but he was like, "Who is this guy? Like, is he crazy?" No, I don't like sim racers.
You know what's weird? Like car games should work so good in VR, but I have not found a car game that has really done it for me. Yeah. Did you ever play Drive Club on PlayStation VR? It's very chunky, but if you get into a convertible, it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, Trover Saves the Universe. Did you touch that one at all?
I want to play it. I bought it. I actually bought it on Epic Game Store. And VR Virtual Strangers, which is a great show. Everybody should subscribe to them.
Absolutely.
Right? As they had a review discussion, and they really loved it. So I think I like Rick and Morty, so I think I'd love it. But it's just maybe after I finish Bloodborne.
So you own the game, but you just haven't fired it up yet.
Yeah.
Don't you know the rules?
I own like 100. Yeah, I own like 100 VR games that I haven't never touched.
So are you in the collect-a-thon? You like collecting them almost? Like when there's sales, you got to buy them?
You know what? I'm trying to support the devs. You know how?
Good. Yeah.
Really, I mean, I can afford it. I don't have kids, so I have additional. I like this income. What's this called?
Yeah, not having kids. Income. That is a game changer right there.
It's called expandable.
Disposable.
Income. Disposable, exactly. Yeah, I have lots of disposable income, so I can buy an occasional game.
Yeah, that's cool.
Support the devs.
Vader Immortal. Did you end up trying that
on the Quest?
On the Quest, did you ever play the PC VR version just to try to see if it looks better or anything?
I started it. I didn't see a huge difference. I think there's some kind of gamma issue. Do you remember? There's some kind of trick. There's some kind of like a fix for it. You have to edit some kind of ini files it's very dark.
Were you trying this on the Valve Index? Had you already gotten rid of your CV1 and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, on Index.
Yeah,
but I think it's also dark I think it's even dark on the Rift S.
It looks good on the Rift S, man. I tried it on the Rift S, and I have to say that it was improved enough over the Quest version that you would want to. Although the differences are subtle, but there's enough of an improvement where I think you do want to play one time.
I totally agree.
I
totally agree. And the biggest difference is this rendering. I forgot.
Foveated rendering.
The foveated rendering. Yeah, when you have this square, right? You have this square in the middle of the screen where it changes, and it's worse in the dojo because this floor in the dojo.
Yeah.
It's really, really noticeable.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't screwed around with the dojo very much. That's why I haven't really noticed the fixed foveated rendering that people talk about. Vanishing Realms. So can you believe I bought the DLC for this? Still haven't gotten to it yet. I'm almost there though. I'm very close.
I knew I wouldn't play it, so I just didn't buy it. And also, I played it a bit in 2016 when I bought Valve Index. I bought it then. Valve Index, Vive.
The Vive, yeah.
Yeah, I played it then. It was cool, but I never finished it. So I waited so many years. Maybe I'll finally play it, but I'm afraid it's sort of got outdated,
Yeah, it did.
It took this guy so many years.
Yeah, what was a breakthrough game in 2016, not so much now. The one thing they did improve on it though that is really cool is all these skeleton monsters that they come over and they got their sword and shield and stuff, and you do a little battle with them. Those battles have been improved in terms of you taking your sword and blocking blocking their incoming sword swipes, and then you trying to hit them and get contact on them where it like -4 or whatever it does. You're kind of whittling them down their health. And there's more advanced ones. Like the guy that made this, he did update all of it. And so there's like these little areas that weren't there before. It's cool, but the thing is, in the Valve Index, like you really notice like the textures are kind of like low-end textures and stuff. But man, I got to get to the DLC. I still have not gotten to the DLC.
I think people are also complaining that there are like store-bought assets, that it's like...
It's one guy. It's one guy from Valve, an ex-Valve guy. So Westworld Awakening. Number one, have you ever seen any of the TV show or like the old movie or anything? Oh, nothing. Dude, you got to see the old movie from like 1970,
Michael
whatever.
Crichton?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Michael Crichton was the director, and he did like Jurassic Park and all that.
Good. Yeah,
so you haven't seen any of the HBO or none of that?
I just watched one episode.
Okay.
I gotta tell you, it didn't blow me away, so I just didn't watch it.
Okay, season 1 though, if you were to watch like 4 or 5 episodes of season 1, I think you would get into it. Now season 2, maybe not. People really rave about this game. I haven't played it yet. But
I know. It's expensive and short, right? So, and I'm really curious, how is Survios managing to churn out so many games in such a short time?
They got a lot of teams. They got a lot of people is what they got going on.
They must have like expanded like incredibly, right?
Yeah. Well, they run like VR arcades and stuff like in the LA area. They like have some VR arcades and stuff. They're doing a lot, man. I mean, I hope they're fiscally responsible and they're going to survive long term.
I think they got like millions of venture capital, right? I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and what about Battle Wake? Did you play it?
No, I haven't played that. Are you playing that?
No, I didn't buy it. No.
Yeah, that one. It's just. See, the thing is, these games come out, right? And like you look at these different games that come out, and sometimes some of them just don't. It's like you see a certain game, you're like, I'm not really thinking about that. So is there anything else on this list that I have here that you've played quite a bit of? But like this hasn't been updated. There's like, did you ever play Wolfenstein Cyberpilot?
No, I bought it.
But you haven't fired it up yet.
Yeah. I heard bad things about it, and I'm sort of, but I may play it because again, VR Virtual Strangers said it's not that bad. And also, I love Wolfenstein. I played the flat games. I finished both. I mean, I know you don't play flat anymore, but if you ever do, Wolfenstein: The New Order and Wolfenstein: The New Colossus, they're good, I think.
What about these upcoming games? Like we're looking at the upcoming releases. So Borderlands 2, I don't know if you played that on PSVR at all, but that's probably going to arrive in October. With Borderlands 3 just came out. My son is actually playing a lot of Borderlands 3 right now.
3? Okay.
Yeah, the new one for flat. The flat one came out. But Borderlands 2 VR, which was on PlayStation VR, is going to hit PC VR probably either very late this month or in October. Do you have any excitement for that one?
I mean, I finished Borderlands 2 flat with my friend in co-op many years ago, and I think will it even have co-op?
I don't know.
If it doesn't, I don't care. I mean, but you know what? I think Gearbox will give it for free to people who own Borderlands 2. So I will probably try to.
Good luck with that. If they do it, that'll be nice. Okay, so
I heard it's gonna be maybe Spire 1. I'm very interested in that. I'm hyped.
Okay, so that one comes out September 24th. It's going to be $30. Is this like your big game of September?
Probably. If I ever buy it, I don't know if I'll buy it immediately. I love the Australian accents, It's like
yeah.
It's stealth game. I love it. I loved Thief, Dishonored, Deus Ex. So
I'm trying to think of what other games are coming up really soon. Yeah, see, Battle Wake is still on here. Like this list hasn't been updated in a little while. You never tried this Holoception, have you?
No.
Yeah, there's a beta for it, but like and of course Hell Split Arena is already available right now. Did you see the graphics on that and how beautiful it looks? But I'm guessing you didn't buy it, like people are having problems with it.
Yeah, I heard. I saw the very bad reviews for it.
Yeah, but the graphics are freaking
Okay.
ridiculous. Like the graphics are drop dead gorgeous, and everybody says the graphics are great, but it's just got other problems. What about Groundhog Day? Did you ever play The Invisible Hours?
No, sadly, I want to. I know it's the best. I also bought it.
See, these flat games, man, they're getting in your way. The flat
Flat
games are
games,
causing problems,
TV
dude.
series, like everything. I watch a lot of TV series too. I just watched The Spy on
Where do you get
Netflix. It's
time for
good.
this stuff?
No kids.
Yeah, well, that's true. No kids, no kids.
And I watch all the series with my wife, so
Yeah, so
that
she
helps.
it's good if she likes the type of stuff that you're into. Like my wife is not into the type like I've shown her Black Mirror before and she just doesn't get it and she's not really
I
interested in
managed to
it.
convince my wife to watch Black Mirror, and she liked it.
Yeah.
We are basically trying sort of compromising. We watch a show if we both like it. If one of us, like everyone has a veto. So if she doesn't like a show, we stop watching it, and if I don't like a show, we stop watching it. So that's how it works.
You know, Jan Red in chat says Hell Split is good. That,
Yeah.
maybe people were a little bit too harsh with Hell Split right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard the graphics were good. That's one thing I absolutely heard. And the graphics look amazing just looking at it. Um, but yeah, so what else? What else could we talk about in terms of
I
like?
can finish my Knuckles saga.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go into the Knuckles
So
stuff.
so so when I got the second part, I error made the first, and the Steam support is okay. I mean, if you open a ticket, which is a bit complicated because you have to do it in a roundabout. You have to create a ticket in a very roundabout way. I don't even remember all the steps you have to take, but
And I'm
basically
sure
it's
it
really
was
complicated.
designed like that.
Yeah, exactly. You have to like choose some kind of other. It's like crazy. You can't just like directly do it, directly create an issue about the Knuckles. You have to choose Steam VR, other, something like that. It's crazy. But they're quite responsive, and you can see it's not a machine. There's a real guy there. But they copy paste you the same messages, every time. And they sent me back Knuckles that were even more busted than the
Oh
ones
my
I
god.
got, because the triggers are squeaking horribly, and I recorded that on a video. It's on my YouTube channel. I actually recorded the squeaking and the not working stick, and I sent it to Valve. I put it in the ticket, the links to the YouTube video. So I sent it back again, and I'm waiting for them to send me another pair of Knuckles. But there's actually on Reddit, there's a spreadsheet on Google Docs. People managed to find in like this report of USB devices on what day your Knuckles were manufactured.
Oh my
And
god.
they are tracking it. And there's a fantastic spreadsheet where there's a question: does it click? Does it register? Does the trigger squeak? From what was the day of manufacturing of your index controllers? And lo and behold, almost all, if not completely all, index controllers manufactured at the end of July and later don't exhibit the issue at all. They click in all directions. How is that possible? Well, they just fixed it silently. They just quietly fixed it, and now they will just replace all the knuckle controllers to all the people who will RMA it, and they will never admit there was an issue in the first place. It's just
Yeah.
plausible deniability, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean
So
it's yeah. There what can
I'm
I
just
say? I
hoping
can't
that they
defend
will.
it.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they will send me the. I think I even posted the link to that spreadsheet to the guy like in the ticket, and I said like, if you don't send me, I told them, if you don't send me the knuckles from like July that work, I will resend them again.
Yeah, so yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. But people that are getting them now, like they are saying like it's clicking in all directions, it's
Yeah,
working perfectly fine. So at least they've solved whatever the problem is, and from this day forth, all Valve indexes should
Yeah, but
probably be good as
they
far as.
never admitted the issue, I hate it.
What do you
They
think about
never
the
admit the issue.
controllers in general, though? Like, would you rather just, like, for me, honestly, if I could somehow get these babies working with my Valve, like, if this worked with the Valve Index, I'd be fine. I'd be
Yeah,
happy.
those are the best controllers ever.
Yeah.
Even the new ones on the Quest and the Rift S,
Yeah,
they're not
these are
that good.
better. These are better than the new
Yeah,
ones.
these
Yeah.
are like the controllers. I'm curious about. I'm kind of curious about the Cosmos ones.
Yeah, the
You know,
Cosmos, I mean, they do add that extra trigger on there. They add
yeah,
another
yeah.
trigger, so it's kind of like PlayStation 4 DualShock,
It's like
where
a
there's,
bumper. It's
yeah.
actually called a bumper on the pad.
And
I don't
so,
think. You know what I'm afraid of? That devs will not use it because no. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's the only controller that's going to have it.
Yeah, exactly. So
So Vive
I'm
themselves can do
skeptical.
it. What do you think about their Vive platform that they got? This like home that they're going to have. Will that be any kind of a game changer?
I think it's interesting. I think they have to earn money on software, right? So they have to do something. And this Vive Infinity is not a is quite interesting. And I think Viveport is not this, dumpster fire it used to be. So
No,
good luck. I mean, good luck
Viveport
with that.
is actually really cool. Like Viveport
Now,
is actually quite cool if it
so
doesn't
I have,
kill your computer.
yeah, it does. I heard it doesn't do that anymore. I have such a huge backlog of VR games that I don't even think about, subscribing. But if someone is getting into VR now, oh, and that's also another bonus for Cosmos. I think if you pre-order it now, you'll get a year of Viveport Infinity, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a deal if like you're really gonna do that. Like, I don't agree with people that say, "Oh yeah, that just takes $100 off the price right there." It's only it's only if you absolutely were gonna do that. Like, if you're not gonna do that, it might be like a $50 value because it wouldn't have been something you would have done anyway.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And for those of us that have like a ton of VR games and we do have a backlog that's stacked to the ceiling, we don't really need Viveport.
Exactly.
But it's cool that like because sometimes you'll hear somebody's playing like Final Assault or something in Viveport and you're like, wow, that game ain't that old and it's already there. So I mean, there are certain games like I bet you if you had Viveport right now, there's probably a handful of games that you would be like, oh, they have that game. I haven't played that and I'm kind of interested in it, and you would download it and want to check it out.
And I, of course, bought Final Assault and never played it.
Oh my God, man, you gotta see if you follow my rules, the rule works like this. If you're going to buy a game, you have to play it for 20 minutes that day. It'll stop you from buying it'll either stop you from buying a lot of games or you'll at least play it for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I recently sort of stopped buying a bit, but I still think that sometimes I may still support the dev by buying an occasional game.
Well, I mean, you can wait right now because I'll tell you what, going back over here to this top 100 most wanted list right here, there's a lot of heat that is coming our way.
Yeah.
Stormland is coming this year. We're going to find out the date in a couple of weeks at Oculus Connect 6. Asgard's Wrath coming this year. We're going to find out the date in a couple of weeks. Hey, whatever happened to that Valve employee that was going to talk about one of the Valve games like last Wednesday? Still have never heard anything about that. Because Boneworks, some people were talking about Boneworks. Is this game going to come out this year? Some people are thinking this is going to slip into 2020. I still think it's a fourth quarter game. I still think we're going to see this, Boneworks. And as a Valve Index owner, you're going to want to play some Boneworks.
Yeah.
What about like Population 1? Are you hyped for that one?
I don't like
multiplayer.
No, that too, but
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, exactly.
But it looks so good. I mean, the graphics for Population 1, like if I were to play that trailer, it's got one of the most beautiful trailers in the world. Let's see, what else is coming in not too long? Well, there's a number of Walking Dead games that are coming, but this Servios one is Walking Dead Onslaught. It's kind of more arcadey, but it's got like the Walking Dead character. Did you ever get into the Walking Dead TV show?
You know what? I did, but I stopped watching it because it got boring. But I read the whole comic.
Yeah.
I recommend the comic. The comic is great. I also played the Telltale games, not all of them, but the first one is the best. If you want to play a good Walking Dead game, really good game, it's the first season of the Walking Dead, the Telltale series,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Telltale.
But
It's
this game
great.
right here is Servios again. These guys are
Yeah, right.
busy. God
But
damn.
that game doesn't look that good. It looks really shambolic. It's like it looks janky. I don't know
Yeah.
if you it
Yeah.
it
I
really
know
looks bad.
I know what you're saying. I mean, you can
I,
slice and dice the zombies up though, real good. Like you can chop their head right in half and like kind
yeah,
of
but
like the show. It's kind of weird how they did that. Okay, the Damned DLC, this is for Arizona Sunshine, right? It was
yeah, I
supposed
want
to
to play it.
already come out, but they
Yeah.
delayed it. But that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Lo-Fi, that's next year. Blunt
Oh yeah, I
Force.
backed the Kickstarter.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? Yeah. I've been in that world. And so if you back the Kickstarter, don't you get a chance to like go into the preview build or no?
I think I will, but after I think they will give it away after they finish the Kickstarter. I
Oh
think,
yeah,
which
like
is a
in
bit weird.
October or something, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So when you get an opportunity to go into that world, that will be impressive because you'll go into that little city and it's
yeah. I wanna
raining and there's
Blade Runner,
puddles.
man.
Yeah,
Love it.
it's Blade Runner.
I love Aircard. Do you know the Aircard was released on Steam,
Yeah, yeah.
and they added a bit like a sort of objectives. You have to find those landing pads.
I should try that on Steam.
Do
I
that.
didn't download it. I should
I
try
have
it.
an iron stomach because I can do everything in that
Yeah,
game.
I cannot. So air car, if I try to just go like this, oh hell no.
I
I
can do
cannot
that.
do that. I cannot
Can
do
do
that.
that.
So there's this game Blunt Force that
Yeah,
is
I don't.
supposedly like I
What is
haven't
that?
seen anything from this game in
Never
a
heard
long
of it.
time. You haven't heard of
Oh, I
this?
know. It's a Polish. I know.
It's
It's a
the World
Polish
War
game.
II thing.
Yeah, I played it. I played it. I was on Digital Dragons conference 2 years ago,
Oh,
and
okay.
It's a Polish developer. Yep.
Yeah, Mounted Rock. These are
Yeah.
the guys that did the Sun. What was it? The Sun Park, Sun Splash, Sun something else. I forget what the other. They did like a
Polish
roller
dev.
coaster, like God, what is it called? Sunland or something.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I was searching for it on
I
Steam.
forget what it is.
Yeah, it has the release date 2019. I doubt.
Yeah, I don't know
I
that this
doubt.
is gonna make it. Undead Citadel. Now, I was worried about this game, but Gamertag VR actually played this game at Gamescom, and so they had this at Gamescom. So this might actually make it. Do you remember this one? It was like skeletons, really good graphics, but
Yeah,
kind of wave shooter-ish.
people thought the trailer is like
Fake.
CGI,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Did you see the new trailer for The Wizard's Dark Times? Because damn, it looks
No.
good. Is that a
What is it?
Polish
It's a
studio
sequel?
too? Carbon
Yeah,
Studio?
Carbon Studios,
Yeah.
Polish studio. Yep.
That looked really
So
good.
is it like a sequel?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a redoing of the whole. It's just a different game. It's based on the Wizards. It's going to be similar, but I think it's just a new.
Like a reboot or a remaster? What
Uh,
is that?
it's just different, but it's based on the Wizards. It's just like a side
Hmm.
story, I guess.
Okay,
Um,
strange.
Pistol
It says
Whip.
it's expansion. It says it's video game expansion. It's
Yeah.
standalone expansion. So
Let's
it's like a
see.
DLC.
Let me
Maybe
go
I'll buy it.
over. I don't know. You think it's just going to be like a DLC? Let me see. Let's look it
No,
up.
they
Uh,
actually call. I'm just looking at it on Steam. It says travel in time to a completely new era, face new enemies and allies, and brandish your spells against fresh challenges in the standalone expansion to the Wizards.
yeah. So
That's
standalone. So it's not
yeah.
really. It's pretty much a new game.
I'm assuming it's going to be shorter and cheaper than because if it's standalone expansion.
The graphics like these graphics look like Asgard's Wrath. Like
Yeah,
this looks damn near like Asgard's Wrath, like in terms of like how good it looks.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they really like visually they kind of did some
Oh,
nice things
by the
there.
way, what happened to Asgard's Wrath? I think we haven't heard about it in a while.
Well, I mean obviously Oculus Connect 6, it's 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
They're saving everything for that.
probably.
So
Yeah.
they're definitely saving it for that. But let's go back over here. But yeah, so I don't know, man. We've been going for well over an hour.
Yeah.
We did start
It's
right at
it's
12.
10:20 p.m. in Poland, so I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, so I didn't know if there's any other little topic you wanted to bring up, or we're pretty much good. Okay.
I can say that I played Mass, and
Oh yeah.
at first And Moss on Index looks amazing. It's just fantastic. I
Moss is a
appreciate.
beautiful game.
Yes,
And
but you know what? I was sort of underwhelmed with Moss. It was extremely hyped. Everybody said it's like such a great game. And I started playing and I was like, well, it's good, but it's not like mind blowing. But then I tried it on Index and I appreciated I appreciated more. And I finished it. I finished the DLC and I really like it. Because there was a time when I was playing Moss when I was like, well, it's not great. It's okay, but it's not great. But after I finished it, I gotta say it is great, and I loved like we can high five with Quill, and it's
yeah,
it's great.
she's adorable. You know,
Yeah,
the little expressions and the little
yeah,
noises and stuff.
it's a game you should show to your girlfriend or wife.
You know what I really liked about this game? Now, I played it on PlayStation VR and I never finished it. I probably was like
Oh, do that.
75% of the way through, but I played it on PlayStation VR. But what I'll tell you is some of the best 3D audio I've ever heard. You know that one
Wow.
level where they're like throwing those fireballs at you and you're like running and there's like somebody's throwing fireballs at you and you're running, and when the fireball goes by your little character, the 3D audio really really good. At least on
Hmm.
PlayStation VR it was. I got to imagine on a Valve Index it'd probably be even better. And you know the Quest version of this looks almost identical. Like they did a
That's
great
amazing.
job. Yeah.
I think that's even a better achievement. It's even greater achievement than Red Matter, I think, because it's interactive. There are characters and
Yeah.
like AI and physics.
The
So
thing
wow.
about one of the things about Moss is it's one of these games where typically you'd be sitting down, right? When you're playing
Yeah.
it, you're sitting down and it kind of wraps around you. So it's like you're kind of looking over here, you're playing the game, and then maybe you're looking down because it's like the world is kind of wrapping around you in a
Yeah, but you
way.
know what? Remember, it was a PSVR exclusive at first, right?
Yeah.
So it's not 360, right? It cannot be.
Well, it doesn't
So it's
need to be
actually,
anyway because
yeah,
you're
but
just
I'm just
like,
saying it's
yeah.
designed in a way that you're always looking like from the edge, and there's nothing behind you.
Yeah, well,
Notice.
you don't turn all the way
But it's
around
good.
behind you.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's why you can play it sitting.
But there's a number of these games that do it where they kind of like it's designed to be a seated game and the world kind of wraps around you. Another game that does this is it's on PlayStation VR. It's called Tiny Tracks. It's like you're doing these little slot car racers and it's incredibly colorful, just unbelievably colorful, but the gameplay was kind of like miscellaneous. But it kind of the way it is it kind of wraps around you. And I was just curious to your feeling like in terms of other games doing that. Do you like that idea or I think it's kind of cool. The only downside is you start kinking your neck after a while. You're looking down here,
Yeah.
you're looking down there.
But
Oh,
like I said,
Blaze Rush. Did you ever play
yeah.
Blaze Rush?
No, it's the cars. It's like this racing
Yeah,
game.
yeah, on Oculus.
Maybe once for like 10 minutes.
Okay, because it's kind of like that as well, where you're kind of looking around and Blaze Rush is kind of wrapping around you.
But actually, in Mars, it's not that bad because, like I said, you don't have to crane your neck too much, I think.
Yeah,
Or you can just stand up and just rotate your whole body, right?
it's a beautiful
Because
game, and we got to
it
hope
is.
that Polyarc
It
is
is.
banging
I'm sure
away
they're
on.
working on a sequel. I'm sure they're working on a sequel.
Yeah,
I'm certain of it. Especially how it ends, they must.
and it's sold well, and it's sold
I
well
think.
on all these different platforms. Like I know it's selling well on Quest, and it's a $30
Okay.
game on Quest. It's sold well on
Yeah, and
PlayStation VR.
there's no cross buy, right?
No, yeah,
So
which is kind of unfortunate because it'd be
it
cool if
is.
people could see
It
it.
is.
Like I'm sure you'd like to see the see. That's
So
why there needs to be more demos at least. Just allow
yeah.
someone to see like 2 minutes of a game so they can see the beautiful game engine that's running inside
Yeah,
their
and it's
Oculus
and it's
Quest.
weird because there are at least two demos of Mars on PSVR. Two different demos, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird what we don't get like the whole days of demos. Like we used to always get demos for everything,
Yep.
and that day has kind of gone by, and it's unfortunate that that's the case. But at least on the Quest, there were more demos in the very beginning. They had a demo for Journey to the
Yes, I
Gods and
played it.
Face Your
Yeah.
Fears 2 and all of that, and so they had some
There's a demo
demos.
for Face Your Fears 2, are you sure?
Or no, maybe there isn't. Maybe there isn't. I
No,
got a
I
key
think
for that
there
one.
isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
the
I
thing
think there was
is,
only there was demo for that game with the rackets, right? Scramble, Sports Scramble.
yeah, there's a Sports Scramble demo. And by the way, folks, remember, Transpose is free this weekend. Have you ever tried Transpose?
No,
Yeah, so
is
you
this
got
like
too
a
many games and you got too many flat games
yeah?
too.
True,
So
true,
go play
totally. Yeah. Oh
Borderlands
man.
3 when you're done with today's show.
No, I'm not. I didn't buy it. No, no, no.
Okay. All right. Well, you
Okay.
know what? We've been going for about an hour and 25 minutes now, so we can go ahead and call it a day.
Totally.
So, Simplex, definitely appreciate you coming on again. It was fun to have you on again. We were kind of all over the place, bouncing all over.
Yep.
Didn't have a lot of focus, but still we touched on a lot of things, so it was fun. I'm going to go
Totally.
ahead and hang up on you now, but I definitely appreciate you coming on the show and awesome having you again.
Thanks, Anthony. And remember, guys, subscribe to Virtual Strangers.
Yeah, absolutely. Subscribe to Virtual Strangers. Incredible
They
show.
deserve
Very
they
good
deserve all the
channel.
subs. Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All
Okay.
right. I'll see you later. Take it easy,
Thanks.
man. Okay.
Thanks, man.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.
Bye, chat.
Okay, so that was Simplex. Definitely fun having him on the show. It's the cool thing with having him on, it's such a kicked back, relaxed kind of atmosphere. Like we're just basically kicking back, relaxed, and it's always a good interview with Simplex. So good to have him on because the last time it was a Twitch episode. A lot of people didn't see it for a long time until I finally got it on much later. But that's going to go ahead and do it because it is lunchtime for me. It is Saturday. It's 1:26 p.m. here in California, and I had breakfast a long time ago, have not had lunch. So I'm getting a bit hungry, so it is time to get out of here. But I will be back tomorrow at 12 noon, twitching it up. So we'll be over there on Twitch, so you can catch me over there. Same bat time, different bat platform, Twitch. 12 noon. See you guys tomorrow over there on Twitch. All right, that's going to do it. Everybody have a good weekend. Try Transpose. If you got a Rift S, if you got a CV1, check out Transpose. I believe it's worth checking out. It is worth the download to check it out and give it a try. It's a pretty interesting game. I think the inverse kinematics is really good. So give that one a try. All right, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one. Take it easy. Later.